Pepper plants are definitely one of the superstars of the garden, especially when you go rare, trendy, and sometimes a little bit funky like I did in my garden this year. I'm Greg from Bell's Backyard. I was kind of in a pepper rut. I was just growing my green peppers, my red peppers, maybe a jalapeno or two, and that was about the extent of it. But then I decided to start doing a little bit more research, started looking around at my garden centers, and I got really excited. I found some peppers that are out there, are rare, they're kind of trendy, and one of them they say is the most expensive pepper in the world. We'll see if that's true or not. I'm going to show you what I've picked, how I'm growing them, and how I'm going to use them. So let's go out to the barn, take a look at what we've got. Before we go to the barn, I want to show you what I started from seed. This is what I did before I started getting the funky, rare, and trendy peppers. These guys right here, these first 6, they're the California Wonder peppers. They were developed in 1928 and been kind of the standard of the green bell peppers since, well, 1928. If you let them sit on the plant, they're absolutely fantastic when they turn bright red. They're super sweet. If you take my wife's famous meatloaf recipe, stuff those things, take a little bit of tomatoes, make some tomato gravy from my Roma tomatoes I've got over there, you can't get any better. Now these 6 right here, well, they're kind of funky. I got these from Ferry Morrison. It's something called a Grand Bell mix. They mix a red, yellow, and green pepper together, put it into a pack and send it to you. So these guys are growing and I have no idea what they're going to be. This tall, lanky one here, nothing yet. There's a flower here and there. This guy over here is really stocky, really bushy. There's a green pepper growing. There's actually 2, 3, but don't know what it's going to be. I'll use these guys for like my ropa viejos, my peppers and onions, and I tell you, if you're from the deep south, connect a sausage with peppers and onions, you can't get any better. Over here, well, this is kind of where my hot pepper section is. I have my jalapenos, my banana peppers, and also my habaneros. Now, I'm not a big hot pepper fan. My banana peppers, they're sweet, and what I'll do is I'll put them on my Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. Guys from Philly, don't hate. It's a southern thing. It's the way that we eat them. But as far as the jalapenos and the habaneros, like I said, not a big hot pepper guy. But for Christmas, I was given this jelly pack. One of them was a blueberry jalapeno jelly. It was fantastic. I put it on a cracker, a little bit of cream cheese, put that blueberry jalapeno jelly on it. Phenomenal. Did the same thing with the peach habanero. Oh my gosh. As soon as the peaches come in, the habanero should be ready too. So I'm going to go ahead and make my jams. That's how I'm going to use those this year. This is what I've got growing in the ground in the garden. But now let's go take a look at the barn and what I've got out there. Now the first pepper we're going to talk about is this guy right here. This is the shishito pepper. It was brought over to the Japanese from the Portuguese in the 1600s. Now it was developed by the Japanese and cultivated to create the pepper that you see today. It's become super popular in Europe and here in the United States. What they're doing is they're taking these guys and they're poking a little hole in the side of it, putting it in some oil and kind of blistering it. I've also seen them where they put like a light breading on top of it and deep frying it, and then they'll take and put a sauce to the side. Now what I do is that bourbon chicken sauce. I'll put a little bit of bourbon chicken sauce and I'll take some honey, thicken it up a little bit, and that becomes the dipping sauce for these guys. What makes these things fun, they're kind of a mild pepper, but every 1 out of every 10 is going to have a little bit of kick to it. So if you're going to bring it to a party and you blister these guys up, it's going to make it kind of fun. You don't know who's going to get the hot one. That was me. All right, so the next one we're growing is this guy right here. Now this is a Holland purple pepper. Guess what? It was developed in Holland and it's purple. Well, the reason why I'm growing it, it's just unique in its look, and I think that when I put this into a salad, or I make something called a 2-day macaroni salad with reds, yellows, and green peppers, put a little bit of purple in there and people are going to go, what the heck is that? Now the outside of the pepper is going to turn purple. The inside's still going to have that light to dark green flesh to it. Now you don't want to use this for cooking, because if you do, it's going to turn all your food kind of like this murky purple gray and nobody's going to want to eat it. So try the Holland purple pepper just for fun, just for color. All right, next guy on the list is going to be this guy right here. Hey, do you know when it's time to water your peppers? And let me give you a little hint. If you pick up the pot and it's heavy, it doesn't want water. The roots want to dry out for just a little bit before you water them again. It just helps the pepper grow. So if you pick it up, it's heavy, it doesn't need water. If you pick it up, yay, it's light. It's time to put some water in there. All right, let's go back to this though. This is the lunchbox. It comes in orange, yellow, and red. And I've got all three colors growing out in the garden. I just brought this one out. This is the orange. But you can see it's going to grow as a long pepper. It's going to grow about 2 to 3 inches. And also it's going to have about an inch or two wide. It's a very thin skin with not a lot of seeds in it. It's great for snackers. You can put it on your hors d'oeuvre plates, but they work good in salads and any one of your like Italian pasta dishes. This is one you may want to give a try. Okay, here's one that I'm super excited about. This one right here that I found, this guy here is called the Mexi Bell. Now, the reason why I like this is a red bell pepper. Kind of looks like the lady bell. It's more of a round than that long 3-lobed green pepper, but it's a great stuffing pepper. The difference between this and any other red pepper, it's got a little bit of heat to it. It's equivalent to about an Anaheim pepper. Now, you can adjust the amount of heat to it by when you cut it out, and you can pull out the seeds, or you can take the little white flesh out, and it's going to adjust the temperature of the pepper. But imagine doing this in, say, your ropa vieja to give it a little bit of kick, or using it as a stuffed bell pepper, but use taco meat, a little bit of rice, or how about a fajita? Mix some fajitas up, you automatically got a little bit of that heat, a little bit of that flavor into it. I can't wait for these guys to grow up because I'm going to be using the fool out of these. All right, my next one is, well, this guy really isn't unique or trendy, but it's kind of a staple down here in the deep south. This is my Tabasco pepper plant. Now, the reason why I'm growing this guy, we do a lot of collard greens down here, and if you don't put a vinegar Tabasco sauce on your collard greens, well, they'll probably just kick you out of the house. So I'm growing these Tabasco peppers just to put a little bit of vinegar, put it into a bottle. I can season up my collard greens. I'll be doing just fine. Now, okay, here's one. I like these guys right here. All right, remember when I said that I'm not a big fan of super heat, but I love the taste of a jalapeno pepper. I don't like trying to dig through it to kind of make the heat come down a little bit when pulling out the seeds and the flesh. These things right here, a jalapeno. All right, they have the same flavor as a jalapeno, but they don't have the heat. So my kids absolutely love stuffed jalapeno peppers, but every so often they'll take a bite of one, it's too hot for them and they won't want to eat them again. So now I can do my stuffed jalapeno peppers with a little bit of bacon, cream cheese, a little bit of cheese on top of it. Oh man, I can't wait for these guys to grow up. I'll be transplanting these guys here just as soon as I finish this video. I was told by a gardening buddy of mine that I could get the rarest, most expensive pepper in the world, that a chef paid $25,000 for 2 pounds of this stuff. Well, what I did, I ordered some just to see. Well, guys, let me introduce you to the Aji Charapita. And it's not $25,000 for 2 pounds. As a matter of fact, you can get them on Amazon if you'd like to try the taste. I've got a link down below. You can order it. I think it's like 10 or 15 bucks. It'll come to your house. You can try it on some of your dishes to see if you like it, if you want to grow the plant. But I'm super excited about this. I actually think that this is going to be the new trending pepper just because of its flavor and its heat. Now, this has the flavor. It's got a super citrus flavor to it, and it's got the heat of probably a cayenne pepper. Now, the way that you can use it, you can either just cut it up and put it into your dish, or you can set it on the side of your dish. Say that you're going to do some type of a seafood stew, that citrus flavor, you crush it with your spoon, drop it into your soups. It's going to flavor itself up. It's going to be fantastic. What I'm going to use this guy for is, we've got gumbo down here. I think is going to just blow it out of the water. And also, when I do my mahi-mahi, my seafood, I do a mango salsa. These guys right here are going to be phenomenal. I'm going to add these. I'm going to grow them this year. I'm going to let you know how it goes. Now, these guys are going to grow about 16 to 18 inches tall, and each one of the plants is going to produce about 200 to 300 peppers. It likes temperatures between 75 and 80 degrees. So what I'm thinking, in early spring, it's going to do great in a container outside. But when it starts to get that blistering heat, like down here in the south, where we're going to hit 90, 102 degrees or so, since this is grown in the Peruvian jungle in dappled light and like 75 to 85, I've got a perfect spot where I'm going to bring this inside, set it by the window, and I'm going to grow it all summer long and then pull it out and then grow it in the winter. I think it's just going to be an annual plant for me. But guys, this is it. This is the last, this is the special, this is the most expensive, rarest pepper that you can get. You can order them online. Hope it works out for you. I'm Greg from Bell's Backyard. I'll see you on the next video.